Now back to your hosts, Matt Hatfield and the coach, Ed Young.
Back here on the program, we've got a special guest on the line. He is the new head football coach of the first Colonial Patriots, coming over from being an assistant at Tallwood and helping Coach Keppel's squad make the playoffs the last few years. We say good morning to Coach Carlos Martinez. Coach, how's your summer treating you so far?
Oh, it's going well. We're getting beautiful weather every day. I appreciate it.
Well, up until today, where it's starting to pour like cats and dogs. So, but you've been right. It's been not as hot and humid the last several days as it was the early portion of the summer. Tell the folks a little bit about as we get into introducing you and your background. First Colonial High School. It's your first head coaching situation. You were previously at Tallwood. What drew you to the position? As it looked like it was filled at one time, it reopened, and you ended up being the guy for the job.
Yeah, absolutely. First Colonial has always been a hot spot, really. When I was in high school, of course, First Colonial was a definite powerhouse, at least at the beach in the area. And I knew they have an interesting mix there at the school. I mean, you have some low income, you have some high income, and you just got a great mix of people there. So just thought it was a very attractive position, and thought to see if I could get it.
Hey, Coach Ed Young here. Congrats on that position. Let's stay on along that line, and let's go back to your high school days as to now you played at First Colonial?
No, I played at Ocean Lake under Coach Prince.
All right, let's go from your high school days all the way up until, including all your coaching and that, to the getting the First Colonial spot.
I played 4 years, of course, under great Coach Prince. Love that guy still. Then from there, I went to Hampton Sydney College. Played 4 years there, and played cornerback, punt return there. That was great days. And then after college, I went and coached with the Mustangs with Coach Bruce Pearl for about 5 or 6 years. And then from there, I was at Tallwood for the last 6 years, and then ended up at First Colonial.
Now, you mentioned Coach Prince at Ocean Lakes. I was going to ask you, as a new head coach, who has had the biggest influence on your coaching background in terms of what style and what you want to do?
The biggest influence Coach Prince gave me was just the demeanor, just the way to lead, bringing energy every day. Of course, he was a great influence. He's a huge influence still to this day. But as in probably the last 6 years or so, I definitely would give credit to a few of the coaches that I've coached with and the guy that I was under. Coach Mike Beal helped me out a lot. Coach Del Chera helped me out a lot. And then Coach John Keppel, from the day I walked in the door, every year he challenged me with more and more and giving me more and more on my plate and was able to just give it to me and then just let me do it. Good, bad, or indifferent. He stepped aside and just let me make mistakes and come to him when I needed things. So he helped me grow as a coach by giving me the ability and just being there as help instead of holding me back. So definite great things that he's helped me with, helping me grow also.
Now, without divulging all the secrets of what you really want to do, what about the philosophy you're bringing to First Colonial in terms of what people will see basically on the offense and the defensive side?
My big theme or my big thought of this whole off season is just making sure that we understand something about First Colonial. If you look at just the record, you might not be impressed. But if you actually look at the game and study the game of them, for the past few years, we are in games until the last into the third, fourth quarter, which is almost the same situation when I came to Tallwood, was in games, but, at the critical points of the last part of the game, the team kind of just couldn't get it done at the end. And so my theme is we're going to compete all the way through the four quarters. I know that can sound cliche, but if you look at their games, this is what it's been. And so my big theme is compete every single down. We're going to go out here all four quarters, and that's the stretch I want to see here with us, is that we're competing all the way up until the end and not worrying about a scoreboard or a score or anything else. If we can do that, then we'll be just fine. Other than that, when it comes to our defense, just trying to keep things simple to let our athletes run around. Offensively, we definitely got some horses some guys that we need to get the ball to in space or just get them the ball quickly to make them let them be athletes.
We're chatting with Carlos Martinez. He's the new head football coach of the First Colonial Patriots, joining us here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1. FC's opener will come August the 30th at Ocean Lakes as they have their bye week. The week before that, we'll get into that a little bit later on. But, Coach, looking at First Colonial, it's got a great tradition. I mean, just the fact that they won 9 playoff games from 1978 to 1991, making the state playoffs in 89. They beat Hampton that year in the postseason on their way there. But they actually had the longest drought in the beach of not making the playoffs, which is hard to believe, 2000. And they've had success in other sports. You think of field hockey, you think of baseball, so many more. What's it going to take to get this program back where it's near the upper echelon of the beach? And I know it doesn't happen overnight, but what's it going to take as you guys try to get in the postseason mix?
Definitely getting the players to fall in love with the process again. This school is, the last 2 years, the football program has graduated around 35 athletes now. Last year it was 25 seniors who graduated. So we're going to be an extremely young team. But sometimes, as the coach knows, and I know you know also, Mr. Hatfield, is the fact that sometimes youth is a great thing. Understanding that they don't know what they don't know. So just go out there and let's go. Let's fall in love with this process of being a team that's just going to be as competitive as we can be. So, and the other sports I think do help. Like you said, the soccer team, the baseball team, the track team, everybody. It has a winning tradition still there. We just need the reinforcement with the football team again. And I definitely think we got the horses and the kids on the team this year to bring some of that back.
Now, also, Carlos, when was it announced that you got the position?
May. It was like late May.
Okay, so I'm assuming you might have not got a chance to really meet with everybody, all players or whatever, but is there any particular, I know from Virginia Preps that we see a kid named Eric Britt is a pretty good ball player. Is there some kids maybe that you can highlight right now? I know it's not everybody, and sometimes we don't want to give out names before we maybe get to at least our first official practice, but any names maybe we can be on the lookout for?
Absolutely. Eric, like you mentioned, Eric Britt, he's going to be a special player. Good kid. We also got another player, Jalen Goodwin. I think he's going to be all over the field for us. We got a young player, Amon Fields, who's going to be unknown, but I think by the end of the season, people are going to be mentioning his name. And then we got at least definitely one more guy, a couple more guys, but at least got one more guy, Sam Adams, who's going to be a running back / safety for us, who is just a specimen when you see this kid. Good athlete. We just came back from camp. He put some moves on with some quickness on our line or big guys. We have a Tomon Finney, Caden Keibert, Hobie Smith is going to be good for us. Devontae Chappelle, who was a JV kid but now has grown just physically in size and his demeanor. We're definitely going to have some kids around, definitely some names, I think, by the end of the season that people are going to be like, whoa, who are these guys and where do they come from? Like, they can get it on. We just came back from the CNU camp, actually, the last 3 days. Thank you to that staff for letting us come up there for 3 days and compete with some teams up there.
Now, quarterback? Anybody in particular, any names you could throw at us for who you like at quarterback?
We have a stiff competition for quarterback right now between Jalen Goodwin and Holden Tatum. Both of them pretty unique guys. Jalen's just an all-around very good athlete. And Holden is just more of the stereotypical quarterback that you get. Just big arm, big kid, can run a little bit, reads well. Jalen's just a great athlete. He can throw the ball, he can run the ball, do whatever he needs. So that's going to be a tough decision, and they're making it tough, and I'm actually happy about that. At camp, they both are splitting time, and I'm telling you, they're making the decision really hard right now. We're just going to keep competing for that, and we'll see when we come out who's going to be that guy back there.
A couple more minutes here with Carlos Martinez, the new head football coach of the First Colonial Patriots, with us this morning here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1 as the Patriots hit the road to start the year at Ocean Lakes and at Salem. Their home opener is September the 14th against Kellum. And, Coach, as you assess your team, you got some good pieces on both sides of the ball, some young guys that'll be certainly a part of the program for years to come beyond this season. What do you think sort of is the strength that could, in long term, be your identity as a team? Where are you guys maybe potentially the strongest at?
I think we're going to be strong as well. Hopefully, with me, I just want to be stronger just mentally all the way up and down the line. I think our linebacking core is going to definitely set the tone for that defense. Our linebacking core, and I also think we're going to have two corners that are just going to be lockdown corners. Right now, it's tossed up between about 3 or 4 of them, but I know definitely we're going to have two corners that we can put on an island and tell you good luck on offense. Our linebacking core should be big, able to move very well. So I think defensively, that's where our strength is going to lie, to be able to fly around the field and definitely slow down some of these teams who want to spread the field and go sideline to sideline.
Now, of course, if I'm not mistaken, practice opens up. It's coming Thursday, correct?
Friday.
Friday's the official first day. Of course, you had an opportunity to work out over the summer, and of course, you come back from CNU camp. Now, who do you have lined up for scrimmages?
We have Granby and Hampton.
Well, you'll be tested there. That'll be a test for you, especially Hampton.
Absolutely. I will say at CNU camp, we were going against Holland Springs, and we were going against Petty, who's a prep school out of New Jersey. A whole bunch of grown men out there. So it was fun. I mean, we just at CNU, we just had some really good high competition for us.
Yeah, you walk off the field against Highland Springs, your guys got to feel like they're not going to see anything better than that. They've won 3 straight state titles, and they could arguably be the most talented team in any division in the state. And lastly, as we mentioned, the Beach District, give us sort of an overview this year. You've been in the Beach, sort of coaching with Coach Keppel at Tallwood and been part of some playoff teams. A big surprise team 2 years ago that shocked all of us. We didn't see it coming. You guys going 8-2. Sort of handicapped the Beach for us. A lot of people think it's Ocean Lakes as the favorite. Are they clear cut in your eyes? What do you think? Who are some teams to watch out for, in your opinion?
Coming up this year?
Yes, sir.
Oh, besides the Patriots going 10-0?
we can handle that.
There you go. I'd be happy with it. I think definitely. I mean, Lansdowne's returning a ton of people. They're going to be a team to be reckoned with. Ocean Lake, Salem's always that team, and Coach John White, good friend of mine. I definitely think Bayside obviously stays in and day out. It's definitely going to be interesting in the Beach. I'm really not sure. Like I said, besides us, Ocean Lake's obviously is going to be a very good team. But we're gonna have to see. It's definitely going to be an interesting one on the Beach. I feel like there's a lot of teams who are coming up, and I think we're getting back to that time where it used to be who was going to win the Beach instead of knowing who's going to win the Beach. If you know what I mean.
Sure.
Before that came about, so I think that's quickly coming back now to the Beach. It's a toss-up of who's going to win it.
And 7 of the 11 schools in the Beach made the playoffs a year ago, and the Patriots hoping to be one of those teams this year. Well, Coach, thank you so much for the time this morning. Best of luck this coming year and beyond, and we'll chat soon.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Oh, by the way, last thing I know I got to get off, but by the way, whoever picked the opening song to the show, because I've been listening to the show for a long time, is awesome. I love that opening. That opening tune is amazing. Gets me hyped every time I hear it.
All right, good deal.
Oh, I appreciate that. It's from my iPod, so I appreciate that.
No, it wasn't. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Tom.
Good luck to you, Coach.
All right.
That is Carlos Martinez, year 1 at the helm at First Colonial. He digs the theme song to the show. It means we're not changing it. We got one person that likes it here on ESPN Radio 94.1. We did change the sign off to the show, which I think the sign off in the beginning should be a little different, right? It shouldn't be the same, or should the theme song, the intro, be the same as the outro? What do you think? Maybe we should put up for our Twitter followers to.
I like variety. I like variety. So
you do.
Yeah, we can put that up there and see what the people say.
Thomas, that's what Ed Young says every time he goes into the ice cream parlor. He likes variety. Give him all different kind of flavors, all different kind of scoops.
I'm not a big ice cream guy.
And you missed National Ice Cream Day last Sunday, didn't you?
I'm not. If people could see what ice cream really does to you, nobody would ever eat ice cream again. And ice cream's too much of a national food to talk bad about.
This says this coming from a guy that'll down the nachos and all other stuff that's greasy is not good for you. Yeah. All right.
Nachos have to be just right.
Just right.
Just
like
right,
porridge? Man. Papa Bear's porridge?
I've never had porridge. What is porridge?
We'll Google that and give you the proper definition.
Is porridge grits?
Not quite. We'll give you a proper definition of porridge later in the show. When we return, we'll talk to another new football coach. He is the head coach at